I learned that it's okay to say nipples on a podcast.
Is it though?
Or did you just say nipples on a podcast?
Hey, you know, it's true. We're better together, better together, better together. Gonna love you all my life.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? Yo.
Welcome to the Anthem Lights show.
Lights.
Episode 3. This is
So annoying.
This is a very exciting episode because, as you can see, we have video this time, which
We
is
do
pretty
indeed.
cool. Switching it up. We made Spencer put on pants today for this episode.
Nice.
Glad that's the
Because
way that
normally he
went.
doesn't wear pants during
Right.
the podcast.
Never.
Completely.
But
my
anyway,
boxers.
we just want to say thank you to everyone who has listened to the show, and now everyone who is watching the show for the first time, and a special thank you to everyone who subscribed and left a comment and a rating.
Yes.
It means the world to us.
We love you.
The world.
We love you.
the
Yeah.
entire world.
The whole world.
In his head.
Okay.
You got the whole world.
And now it's time for the Anthem Lights update.
Yeah, so if you look at Chad's hat, we partnered with a
Also-
company called, and Joey's
My
mug.
mug.
We partnered with a company called Music Notes, and they hooked us up with some cool swag. Shout out. But yeah, they're a company. Basically, I look at them as like the iTunes of sheet music. So if you're looking to play or perform any kind of musical arrangement, they've got sheet music for that. So they've been transcribing a lot of our music. And I think America Medley just came out this week, which is cool
Sweet.
because July 4th is coming up. So if you're looking for something for church or your organization, check that out.
Check it out.
I feel like we got like one or two comments that got liked a lot on our like Facebook page about when are you guys going to release sheet music for this? Or when are you guys going to have something that I can read and perform this with like proper sheet music? And so now that we finally have that, I'm excited to see how it
Yeah,
does.
that's actually why we
Yeah.
wanted to pursue that because we got so many emails and messages about that stuff. So
Yeah, I
we
think
have listened and we have responded. So
I think
it's
I
there if
told you
want.
guys this story before, but when I first started learning piano, it's actually really funny. The piano in my house that I grew up in, I didn't know it at the time, but the whole piano was in tune, but a half step down. So I would like try and learn songs by ear, and it sounded pretty good, and I would like play along, and then I found sheet music on musicnotes.com, and I found the first page for free of 100 Years by Five for Fighting.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, I can finally learn this song like legit. So I got the sheet music, and it took me forever, but I sat there and I figured it out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play along. And it just sounded awful. I was like,
no.
what in the world is wrong with the sheet music? But turns out my piano was just tuned a half step down.
there you go.
So
That'll
every
do it.
song I had like learned by ear up until that point, I learned it a half step up.
That explains
Wow.
so much about you.
Your entire musical brain is like a step flat.
Yep. Exactly.
It's always like, you're sharp.
Yep.
We're always like, no, Joe, it's your ear.
Without music, life would be flat.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Moving on from that dad joke, this coming Friday is Dad Day, Father's Day. And,
Sunday.
well, yeah, sorry, this coming Sunday, but we're releasing.
Why was it on a
It's
Friday?
Father's Day.
It's Father's Day this coming weekend, and we're putting out in celebration of Father's Day the "You Will Always Be My Son" music video from our Painted Skies album. Caleb sang a lot of that song because he has a son and he got to
I
sing
did.
about it.
I have the babies.
The babies.
Well, I have one baby, another baby on the way. Yeah, I wrote that song with our producer Rob and Joey. It was about my little guy right after he was born. It's so cool
Honestly, that was
to be a part of that.
yeah, being able to be in that session with you and help you write that song and then record it with you is one of my favorite musical moments so far.
And having
Really special.
Thanks,
and
man.
having Kelsey come in at the end is really, really sweet. Kind of all tied it in together. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
that was really meaningful to me and to her.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about this before the podcast, before we started recording, but I wonder like what my kid will think of that. Like, is he going to think that's cool, or is he going to be like, oh, Dad, you're such a dork recording with your boy band back in the day? We'll see.
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
They'll think it's cool, bro.
Yeah, I think he's
He'll
gonna
think it's
cool.
nerdy until he's like an adult, and then he'll think it's cool.
Probably true.
Yeah.
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 Nailed it.
Yeah. Father's Day.
So speaking of
Coming your way.
fathers, I'm curious to know. I want to kind of hear a little bit from you guys about some stuff that meant a lot to you when it comes to your dads. Like, I don't know, talk about some stuff about your fathers and the impact they had on your lives. I know my dad. I mean, honestly, like the four of us wouldn't be here together if it wasn't for my dad and his support. Early on in Anthem Lights, life as in the inception of the band, it all started because of my dad's belief. My parents' belief, but my dad's belief in what in what this could become, and so he invested a lot of resources toward it, and we wouldn't. Yeah, so I mean, quite frankly, like I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for my dad and his support in it. So yeah, it's really
Yeah.
We're all beneficiaries of that.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Spence?
My dad was really supportive of all of the dreams and aspirations that I had growing up. When I was involved in sports as heavy as I was, he made sure I was on all the travel teams. I was in front of the coaches I needed to be in front of. We were on the road like 250 days of the year, just traveling for sports, basketball and baseball. And that's a huge commitment just as a father to just make. And though sports didn't end up being the thing that worked out for me, it just being able to like, stomach some of the costs, like that. It wasn't cheap. There was a lot of costs for like equipment and hotels for tournaments and stuff like that. And he just made sure that like my needs and dreams were like being achieved as I grew up. And then as music came into the picture, I honestly didn't really want to do music the first 2 years I was doing it. It was more of a side thing in case I blew out a knee or something. And he just kind of made me keep doing it just as a thing to be able to do on the side because he wanted me to have other hobbies as well. And I slowly developed this passion for it. And without him pushing it and being super like, assuring that I had this talent in music, that I probably wouldn't be doing music anyway. So without my father in my life pushing me and showing me what it means to work hard and stuff, I don't think I'd be in the place I am now. So
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. My dad is a pastor, and I think pastors' kids get a bad rap, especially like in evangelical circles,
PK.
for being like rebellious or being bad kids or whatever. And I think that's in large part because a lot of the temptation for dads in ministry, I think, is to make that the focus and to be a pastor and a minister first to your flock and then to be a family man. And I feel like that's something that my dad never got twisted. He was always a father and a husband first, and then a pastor. So that's something that I really, really have always appreciated and respected about him. And I just looking back, I think of my childhood and just he took so much joy in getting us whatever we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I joined, I needed a new ball glove or like whatever the thing was that week that I needed, like he loved to like throw me in the car and let's go to the store and like get what you need, or I'm going off to youth camp, here's $50 to spend on burritos and stuff, like he always took so much joy in providing for us and like making us smile. So I love you, Dad.
Youth camp.
I feel just incredibly lucky to have never once in my life felt the pressure from my father to be anything other than whatever I wanted to be. There was never a moment where I felt like if I decided to take a different career path or anything, there was never a moment I felt like I wouldn't have his support. And it took me like most of my life to realize that not everyone has that, like there's a lot of people,
Right.
especially in different cultures, who are like, if you're not going to be a doctor, like your dad was a doctor, then you're going to be in trouble. And that relationship is going to suffer greatly from it. And I just like lately have been thinking a lot about how lucky I am to, kind of have that support.
Mm-hmm.
And also my dad, so cool. My dad worked in a factory for over 30 years of his life, providing for my family. He worked at General Motors. And then after like 30 years, the plant closed down and he's out of a job. And so he faces this moment in his life, like, what do I do? A lot of his coworkers ended up in a really dark place, but my dad went back to school, like I guess he was probably almost 50 at that time. went back to
Jeez.
school and became a nurse.
That takes so much gumption.
Like
Yes,
that far into life to be able to like completely start over. And he didn't just do it because he had to. He thrived in it. He loved it. And he's really good at it. And just showed me like it's never too late, you know? If you have a good work ethic, you can do anything you want at any point in your life. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
super
something
grateful
that you
for my
said
dad.
that got me thinking. If you're listening to this and you don't have a present father, or if you grew up and just had a terrible dad, like, I'm sorry about that. You deserved that. And if you are a dad, show up. Like, your kids really need you. Everybody needs their dad. And I've read a quote this week. It was something like, kids will make you lose your mind but help you find your soul. And that, like, that really resonated with me, because like the days are really long, but even like now my firstborn's almost, you know, he's just turned 18 months, and it flew by. You know, they say the years are long, or the days are long, but the years are short, and that's so true. But just you have this perspective as a dad once you have a kid that just, it changes the way you see life. It changes the way you see people. So it's just such a gift.
That's cool, guys. So I'm curious. It's summertime, you know, in which
My favorite time.
I love until I have to work out outside, and then I'm like, this is the worst. But
We get it, Chad. You work
I
out.
love it. Yeah. I'm vegan too. Do you know?
Oh,
I don't want to get him started.
Hey, Joe, forget it. Never mind.
we'll edit that out.
Wrong name.
Wrong names.
You're gonna be a great dad.
So summertime. What are your favorite like hobbies? What are like your favorite things to do during summertime, Joe?
Oh man, I love canoeing. Some of my favorite memories are canoeing and like finding a rope swing and getting a little sunburnt, but not too sunburnt because that's bad for your skin.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for that, Joe.
Yep.
Spence.
I love the pool. Obviously, that's a great summer activity I think a lot of people like. But also outdoor sports. I love going outside, playing some flag football or playing basketball out at the park.
Getting dunked on by me.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, yeah, I love outdoor sports, getting in the sun and the pool.
Cool.
Yeah, man. What about you?
I love, especially in the summer, I love to cozy up next to the AC.
I knew it was coming.
Indoors.
Bro.
Yes.
I mean, we spent how many thousands of years perfecting the indoors, so. No, I mean, I love summer activities too. Mainly just going to the beach.
Oh,
I'm not a big
that's
outdoor
the
summer
You
guy.
live in the wrong city for that.
I would rather be outdoor in the spring or the fall.
Agreed.
But summer, it's just so hot.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys are haters.
I love it, man.
I agree.
I edit this out because I completely just lost what I was gonna say.
My favorite thing to do is say, yeah, we'll edit that out, but then don't edit it out.
We'll edit that out, but we won't.
But we won't. What's your favorite summer activity, Chad?
Gosh, guys, I had a really good answer for this.
You
and
love
it's-
Disney.
Hiking.
That's what it was.
Hiking.
Okay, there it was.
Oh, you know Chad better than he knows himself.
Yeah, Chad, please don't edit any of this out.
I'm a big like outdoor guy, which, you know, opposite of Caleb apparently. And I love, you know, I just love being in the woods. And so when summertime rolls around, that's like I take weekends and I'll just go by myself and go hike 10 miles somewhere in the Smokies or something. And
kinda
you know,
dangerous.
everybody, I get those messages all the time. You should never hike alone. And I'm like, then how do I get alone? But anyways, I'm friends with the bears. It's all cool. So yeah, that's what I love to do. Is get
You
out,
seen
and
Yogi
get in the
lately?
wild.
It's a good one. Yogi Bear.
Old Jellystone Park reference.
My head immediately went to like yoga, like
Smarter
a person
than
who
your average
does
Chad.
yoga.
So
It was like
confused.
just random yogis out in the woods, downward dog.
To Caleb's defense, I get the wanting to stay indoors because I sweat so easy that being outside makes me sweat in the summer, and I don't
Yeah,
like to
it's
sweat.
glorious.
But sweating is natural.
It
You're
is.
supposed
but
to
I
sweat.
start to sweat, and then I get self-conscious because I think I smell, and I'm uncomfortable,
Oh.
and I don't like that.
Let's
Like,
di- let's
I don't
dive,
always
let's dive
smell.
in here.
That's
Spence.
why you got to get in the woods. No one cares. The
I mean,
stinkier
okay,
you are, the
but,
better.
Okay, but hold on. I don't mind sweating and getting like like getting sweaty when I mean to get sweaty. Like if I'm going outdoor and in the woods, like I'm expecting to sweat and be tired and like sort of exercise. Like I'm expecting to be in that headspace. When I'm just walking to like a restaurant from my car or just outside in general and I'm away for like at work or something, I don't want to sweat. That's just is really annoying.
You know,
That's fair.
I
Thank you.
totally get that. I used to wear, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Yes.
I used to wear under my t-shirt 2 of those little tank tops. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, wife beaters?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just don't like calling them that.
Well, why did we adopt that in society?
It's so
as-
dark.
I remember I used to call them that all the time, and then one day it just hit me. I was like, wait, I'm saying wife beater. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
that's awful.
My mom made me call them grandpa t-shirts.
Yes, I like that. That's a better name.
So I used
I
to
love
wear
your mom.
2 grandpa t-shirts
Uh-huh.
and a t-shirt under a t-shirt. The grandpa t-shirts, we might have to edit this out, were because of my nipples.
Dude, that's amazing. Yes, I can totally
hated
relate.
when they would like poke through a t-shirt.
Yep.
And then the first layer of t-shirt was for my sweat stain.
Yep.
Because I was so embarrassed that I was gonna get pretty sweats.
Okay, so I can beat that.
layers.
I used to wear undershirts all the time, like crew shirts. But then one day in college, I realized that having like your white shirt poke through your collared shirt wasn't cool. So I took
I
a
remember that
scissors
switch.
and I cut the necks out because I couldn't just lose the t-shirt because I sweat too much. So I would keep the shirt, but I cut the neck out. And so I like
The
all my
struggle
undershirts
was
were just
real,
these butchered,
bro.
like yeah.
Are we?
it's-
You put 2 tank tops on and a shirt and then another shirt. Like, wouldn't all of those layers make you sweat even more?
Oh, totally.
No wonder you were
It
sweating
was
so
a
much.
terrible plan.
We win some, we lose some, and some get away. We're perfect, we're broken.
Well, I think it is time for Around the Horn.
Actually, no.
Oh, wait, we're naming it differently.
So last week we talked about this segment being called Around the Horn as a joke.
Well, half joke. We were like legitimately searching for a name.
Yeah, Around the Horn, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But quick history lesson, it's called Around the Horn. That expression came from the Panama Canal. Before the Panama Canal was built, you had to go all the way around Cape Horn to get around wherever the Panama Canal goes.
Wow,
You
bro.
can cut this out. It's really
That's so interesting.
To
No,
relay
that's,
information?
you know,
Like that, to like relay information.
To
That was the
relay
route they had to
anything.
say. Or take?
Spencer doesn't.
I
Spencer
wonder
got
how.
history.
I wonder how many listeners we lost in these like 13
Anyway,
seconds.
we recognized that Around the Horn wasn't a great name, so we asked our listeners to make suggestions for this segment, and someone named Ray Lynn emailed us, shout out to Ray Lynn, with the suggestion,
Yo, what up,
Ask
Ray Lynn?
Them Lights. So
Ask
the new
Them
segment
Lights.
Boom.
for our Q&A is called Ask, Them, Lights.
Which is a
Chad, can we
brilliant
get like
name.
a graphic right here in the video?
Ask Them Lights.
You can put it like.
It's a play
right
on Anthem
here.
Lights. Get
I'm
it?
just kidding.
Our first question is from Jewel Blue. Thank you, Jewel.
Blue.
What a name.
That's a cool name.
My girlfriend's name is Jewel, not Jewel Blue. She's not my girlfriend.
My second favorite color is blue.
My first favorite color is blue.
Nice. Chad, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Gosh, I'm back on. It's green and red. I'm just in the middle of them.
Chad's in the
What's-
midst of an
what do you-
identity
what do you
crisis.
get?
Totally,
What do you get when you
love
mix green and
Christmas.
red?
I get it.
It's weird.
What do you get when you mix green and red?
It's like a yeah,
I can't imagine it
Yellow?
looking good.
Is it yellow?
maybe like a yellow.
Oh,
No, blue and yellow is
I don't
green.
like yellow.
Yeah.
Oh.
What
Weird.
are those 3 primary colors, right? Yellow, blue,
Red and
and
green.
red. Because red and yellow make orange.
I thought it was green, blue, and red.
Blue and red make purple.
So many colors.
No, green's not a primary
I didn't
color.
pay
You
attention
make
in-
you make green from blue and yellow.
I didn't pay attention in art.
I do love green. Though.
Green and red makes something.
So anyway, that
makes
was
Christmas babies.
That was not Jules' question. Jewel would like to know, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Jewel coming in with the deep question.
Spencer, where do you see yourself in 10 years, bro?
I see myself in 10 years with a wife, possibly a family. Hopefully still having music be my work, my income source. And, you know, just doing as much as I can in the entertainment industry because I feel like that's where I've been called to be and what I feel passionate about, whether that's acting or music or directing videos or producing music. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's where I want to be in 10 years and see myself.
Cool, Chad.
Yeah.
Cool, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar answer. I obviously I want to be doing music. It's all it's all I've ever known, music. And I hopefully, Lord willing, will be still in the music industry in some way or in the creative space and being able to make a living and pay the bills and hopefully have some kids by then. Don't tell my wife that. She'll be like, just kidding. 10 years from now, I'll be like, woman, it's time. But I won't say that. I love you, babe. But yeah.
Chad's going to be the #1 vocal coach in Nashville.
Do your guys
Brett Manning, I'm coming for
significant others listen to this podcast?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I've played it for Brooke.
We can say what we want about it.
Jules started it the last episode just to get to the part where I told the story of how we met. And she was like, I've heard enough. Turned it off.
They just ask, did you talk about me? Yeah. Where? You tell her where. And she listens to that. Okay, I listened.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm actually going to go really specific with this question. I'll let you guys in on something.
I'm ready.
It means a lot to me. So, part of my morning...
He's about to tell us he's quitting Anthem Lights. Get ready.
No, part of my morning meditation routine, which I don't always get in, but if I wake up on time and if I'm having a good morning, then I'll have some time to meditate. And I always take a section to visualize just basically like 3 things that I want and 3 things that like I want in the future, 3 things that I want now, whatever. And I always see myself in, it's going to get oddly specific, but this is where I see myself in 10 years, hopefully. I'm doing that morning meditation routine, but I'm on a patio at my house near a beach where I can hear the ocean. And during my meditation, my kid comes out and interrupts the meditation, which you would think would be annoying, but in the moment, it's like the best thing ever. And then Jewel, who is my wife at that point, comes out and gets the kid, and then we have this nice little family moment on the patio in 10 years.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You're kind of already there minus the kid and the beach.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I just picture you like out on your patio overlooking the pool or whatever.
Yeah, and obviously music is still
Let's say you have a
thing,
piano in
100%.
front of you during that. All that.
Yeah, and then I finish my meditation, and then I go work on music.
Awesome.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool.
That's my thing.
Caleb.
Please edit that out. Just kidding. That's
too vulnerable.
That's our thing this episode. Please edit
having
that out.
vulnerability
Title of
10
this
years
podcast.
from now, I'm going to be 40. That's crazy, first of all.
I'll
I
be 41.
see myself with 3 to 5 kids,
35 kids.
35 children.
Caleb and Kelsey and counting.
That gets me anxious. Just
I'll be doing music with Caleb and Kelsey. I'm fairly certain that's not something that's ever going to end, I feel like. Maybe it'll just be a hobby, but I feel like Kelsey and I will always be singing together. I don't know. Honestly, I want to be doing music, and if that's the only capacity for, I could see that being the only capacity that I do music. But I also love business, and I love operating projects, and so maybe I could be operating. Maybe it's in Anthem Lights. Maybe it's in the context of something else, some other artist, management, or working for a label, or building my own label, or I don't know what that looks like. But for sure, lots of kids and doing music with my wife.
And working at IGN.
And writing
Caleb
video
and I
game
still
reviews
get
for
together
IGN.
every
Yes.
Tuesday night and play Mario Party in 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen now, but we're
But in 10
hoping.
years, we'll definitely have that down. That's funny.
Good question, Jewel.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
question. Thank you, Jewel. Which sort of similarly to that question, if you weren't doing music, what do you guys think you'd be doing? So this is not in 10 years, but 10 years ago, had you never piqued your interest in music, where would you be today, and what would you be doing? Let's start on the other end, Joe.
Oh, man, I knew you were going to start with me. This is a question that I actually think about all the time. I have a lot of anxiety about, like, if music just crashes and burns and never really fully takes off and I have to figure something else out. And I genuinely don't know. Like, I have real anxiety about it. I probably would I don't know, maybe try and get into like the fashion industry somehow. That's another passion of mine, but I have no idea how to get into that industry, but get a job at H&M.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
well,
I
let's
know.
define the question a little further. So this is not music didn't work, I have to do something else. This is music doesn't exist, you have no interest in music.
I can't even put myself in that place.
That's tough. I'll take over while Joe's
Thank
over
you.
there thinking.
I'm having a panic. Edit that out.
Joe's having a panic attack over here. Yeah, because at first with the music thing, it's hard because I never saw myself doing anything other than music. I went to college for a year and a half, and the year and a half I was there, I was just like, why am I here? All I want to do is music. And so I couldn't even figure out what I wanted to do as an alternate. I would probably, my dad was in real estate marketing, grew a couple companies that way. And I think that was my plan B, is kind of following in his footsteps. But my other dream would have been, which is really random for a lot of people, but I would have pursued being a race car driver, which is random. I know a lot of people don't know that about me, but that's something that's like a passion of mine. I have like a racing simulator in my house where I try to live out that dream by myself. It's in my closet, and I walk into my closet in a full-on racing outfit with a helmet on, and nobody knows until right now, and I just told the world. So Lego's last episode.
Wait, you really
episode.
wear a helmet?
No, I don't.
man.
I don't
Awesome.
own a helmet.
What is a commitment to be
or
so...
a racing outfit.
Chad, I have a challenge for
I don't
you.
know what to believe
ready.
anymore.
This week, I want you to post a selfie on Instagram of you building your Lego set.
Dude.
And then a selfie of you in your race car simulator. Spence,
Done.
what would you be doing if you
Love
were
it.
in music?
Sports related things. I would probably go and coach, maybe become a teacher so that I could coach somewhere. I really enjoy that. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge in sports to give. And then who knows if it's really hard, because I answer the question like if music ended tomorrow, what I would do now, rather than like if it was never on the table. Because if it was never on the table, I know I would have continued it through high school and hopefully would have gotten to college, and then my life could have been different with sports. But yeah, something sports related. I do enjoy teaching. I don't mind working with kids. And I say that now, and I may end up, if I ever did that, I would either regret it or love it. So I don't know. But something to do with sports, because that's still just a huge passion of mine.
That's cool. My son just learned how to throw a ball, so he might be ready for the Spencer Kane
For Coach
School
Kane?
of
Coach
Athletics. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
What would I be doing? So in college, I don't know if I have ever told you guys this, but for about 20 minutes, I was an English major. I really like writing, and I'm always correcting Chad's grammar.
I can see that.
So I might have gone into like some sort of journalism, not like news journalism, probably like writing about something that I like video games or movies or something interesting. I also, like I said earlier, I love business. I love operations and just seeing projects through. So if music didn't exist, I probably would have ended up at a company somewhere, like as an operations manager or something, honestly. So
It's cool.
it's not as
That's
cool as race car driving, and coaching and designing Chad's race outfit. I'm just kidding.
That's a good question.
Tessa Brady, or Brady,
Mhm.
not really sure how to pronounce that, but thank you for your question, Tessa.
Tessa.
She wants to know who is the most influential artist on you as a musician, and who inspired you to pursue your dream. I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
I always looked up to my brother as a kid. He is quite a bit older than me, but he was in singing groups, so I always looked up to him as a kid and wanted to be just like him. So I wanted to be a singer. And then from a celebrity standpoint, the first artist that I really, really connected with in high school was a guy named Gavin DeGraw. I just like really connected with his voice and like what his songs were about, and like his record Chariot made me want to be a part of projects like that, and It made me want to help others feel music like I felt that. So that kind of like ignited that dream in me. Spence?
I really loved guys like Toby Mac and Lecrae, who were making Christian music kind of relevant and cool at the time.
This guy loves the Lord.
No, I mean, like, really at like when I first started out, I wasn't too into top 40. I would listen to it on the way to school, but I would still, my parents didn't really enjoy me listening to top 40, so I would listen to majority of Christian music, and I wanted stuff that sounded like top 40 but was Christian.
Right.
And Toby Mac was kind of doing that, and Lecrae and some guys in the hip hop world were kind of doing that in the Christian side of things, and so I was like, ooh, that'd be really cool for me to go and make pop music or R&B music or something like in the Christian world that isn't there. And that was kind of like an inspiration and kind of like a dream of mine to do. And so that, yeah, kind of all in a summed up thing was kind of my inspiration and who inspired me to do music. So
cool. Yeah, for me, I listen to all different kind of genres of music.
Genre?
Who's genre?
Genre, right?
Oh, this conversation.
Soft.
Thank you for doing it.
Genre.
So I didn't have to.
Anywho.
it's the genre.
McGinry? I love that music.
That's a dope artist name, genre.
It's got weird.
Chad?
Anywho, I was really big into the vocal groups kind of thing. I was huge into DC Talk, Avalon, NSYNC. Those are kind of big groups of I would listen to and grow up on listening to. But vocally speaking, I'm kind of, if you know these artists, you can hear in my voice kind of a mixed hybrid at times of all three of them, and that's Kevin Max from DC Talk, Justin Timberlake, and a little bit of David Phelps. And so pretty different genres, but I kind of
Genres.
stupid
Genre,
and
dude.
so I
Genre.
kind of took all three of those and try to replicate their voices.
That's cool, man. I can trace it back to a moment where I saw Brian McKnight sitting at a piano singing Back at One. Just him and the piano. And I took that video to the worship pastor at my church at the time, and I was like, can you teach me to play piano like this? And he was like, no, I don't know how to play piano like Brian McKnight.
Dude,
And
I know
was like,
exactly the video you're talking about.
yeah, so I had to try and figure it out on my own. But so that was the moment. But then my first musical moments were singing in church, leading worship. So I think that there's a lot of that still in me and what I do today, which is pretty cool. But like Caleb said, Caleb's big brother actually was, I'm just kidding. No, my big brother definitely inspired me to pursue my dream. He's been singing forever. And when I joined Anthem Lights, we were not making $1. Actually, we were making $35 a show.
Boom.
Which is not that many dollars a show.
Nope.
And I had just moved to Nashville, and I was super broke, and my brother paid my cell phone bill for like a year or something crazy like that, which was just like a really evident way where he could say, yeah, I support your dream, bro. Go get it.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
And little known fact, your brother did a tour with us way back in the day.
Yeah, when Alan was filming
about
the
that.
song, my brother Donald came on the road with us. There's still some pictures floating around the internet. It was fun times.
We all wore bright colored pants.
Yeah, that was the bright
It's an
pants
interesting phase for Anthem Lights. Okay, so I have a question. Is there any artist or band group that you are like hesitant to admit that you love or loved at one point?
Like a guilty pleasure kind of thing?
Yeah, so mine, for example, I'm like always hesitant to say I love Florida Georgia Line. I don't know why. I love that
lot
guy's
of people
voice.
love
I
them.
think their songs are so good, but for some reason, like it's not like hipster and cool to like Florida Georgia Line. But I think they're awesome.
Because we know that you're hipster and cool.
Yeah, I mean, look at me, man. Top buttons buttoned.
I don't know. I feel like I've kind of owned everyone I've listened to. I think there was a brief period where it still wasn't quite quote unquote cool for guys to listen to Justin Bieber. And I was into some of his songs because they're really good songs. You go
That's
back
true,
and listen
yeah,
to them;
that's
they're like
true.
really, really good songs. He has an amazing voice, but you know how that goes. So he might have been one of them. I I mean, I don't know. I liked some girl pop back in the day, stuff that was like girls' anthems that I was just like, this is a jam. So,
Like who? Like Spice
Keri
Girl?
Hilson had a song back in the day.
She was awesome.
She was
Girl
awesome.
Rock.
Dude, that song was a jam.
that
And there was
song.
another song that she
The
never...
one with Neo. Nope. That's not what you were
No.
gonna say.
Oh, but I know that song.
That song, dude.
No, but it
I
had,
got your back or whatever.
it
Right?
had one
No.
word repeating.
Kanye was in it too.
What was it? I don't know. But Keri Hilson had another song that I could only find on YouTube. It was not out on like iTunes. It wasn't anywhere. She only had like a music video for it. And it was my jam. I listened to it over and over and over again. And like I knew if like one of my bros heard me listen to the song and be like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, shut up, it's a good song. So
I'm so excited for Chad to answer this question.
Oh man, well it's funny because my first thought when he said that I was like, oh, I've already said mine. I said NSYNC, and then all of a sudden it hit me of like, oh man, I have a worse one. I can't believe I'm saying this in public, but I was way too big of a Britney Spears fan. Woo! It's pretty bad. I just love the songs. I went to a Britney Spears concert at way
Yes.
too old of an age.
You did. I
happened.
remember that. I knew you when you went
yes,
to that concert,
you
which means
did.
you were too old.
I was too old, and yeah, and
Dude,
yeah,
she
that's a
had
bad
that
one.
album.
See,
Like,
that's the thing. I
like
I
after
love.
the initial Britney phase, she
Uh-huh.
came back with this pop
Yeah,
album.
and it was
so
one of my
good.
favorite albums. Like, I
Circus,
listened to it
yeah.
all the
hits,
time.
yeah,
She
yeah.
had a few that I just was a big fan of. Anywho, next.
Britney Spears.
I'm editing that out.
Yeah, edit that out. Edit all this out. Edit the whole thing.
Don't put this podcast up.
Man, I don't know. Like, are we talking about current or
Doesn't matter.
over history?
Just it doesn't even have to be somebody you are or should be ashamed of. Just somebody that you're like hesitant to like throw in there, like, oh, I love.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
whoever
I only
it is.
listen-
when I
cool
was
music.
younger, I was like a huge. It's my brother's fault, not Donald. My other brother, Kenny. It's his fault. But I was a huge Blink-182 fan, and their stuff is like pretty vulgar. And I knew all the words when I was a kid. Me and my brother, Kenny, and our next door neighbor, Josh Moody, had a band. Like, I was 10 years old. I got my first drum set, and we would play Blink-182 songs all day.
Amazing.
So loud.
What was the band name?
We actually didn't get that far.
Oh.
it was Genray.
Blink 181.
Yeah, it was actually Genray.
Genray.
Genre.
What Genray was your band, dude?
Blink-182.
Okay, well, this has been Ask Them Lights. Thank you,
Them
everybody, for your questions. If
Asking
you have
Them
questions,
Lights.
please email us, anthemlights@gmail.com, and let us know what those are.
Yes, we would love to hear your questions. So let's do that part of the show where we each say what we learned today. Caleb, what did you learn today, bro?
Today, I learned that Chad is friends with bears.
Apparently,
Solid.
Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear. I learned what around the horn actually meant. It was a nice
You're
little
welcome.
fun fact. Appreciate
Very
that.
educational moment, Caleb.
Yeah,
I'm a dad. That's what I do.
for sure.
Yeah, I learned that Caleb wants to have like 5 kids. It's crazy, man.
Maybe.
It's a lot of
It's a lot of kids. You only have 2 arms.
Well, 4 if you count Kelsey.
I learned that it's okay to say nipples on a podcast.
Is it though? Or did you just say nipples on a podcast?
Edit that out.
But we won't.
But we won't. Anyway, we're Anthem Lights. Thank you so much for listening to the show / watching the show this time. If you loved it, please subscribe and give us a 5-star if you thought it was 5 stars.
If you're listening, Spencer just threw up his hand and made a cool noise.
Yeah. So anyway, we're Anthem Lights Band on Instagram and Anthem Lights on every other social media platform. Caleb, where can they find you?
You can find me Instagram, Twitter, @Caleb Grimm.
Spence.
You can find me Instagram, Spencer Kane Music, Twitter, I am Spencer Kane, everything else Spencer Kane.
You can find me at Chad M. Graham.
Thank you, Chad.
You're welcome.
You can find me at Joseph Stamper on all platforms. And this has been episode 3 of the Anthem Lights Show. Outro music, go.
Hey, you know, it's you. We're better together, better together. Gonna love you all my life.
I said pie show. I sang podcast. Okay.
And we out.
The Anthem Lights Pod.
Anthem Lights Pod Show.
All my life.